Fazila, turn off your camera also and mute your mic too, dear. Because now the recording has started. So please be very vigilant while using your cameras. Okay, now keep them turned off, it's better. Okay, now today we are going to discuss three things: effective teaching approaches for enhancing learning, programs for early learners development, and 7 areas of learning. Today, I'm going to tell you especially the programs which is for early learners. But if we can keep those programs, especially for the children who are, as we discussed yesterday, the ones who are hyperactive, SEN, or ADHD or autistic children, okay? So we can use those strategies for them also. Let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, effective teaching approaches for enhancing learning. ठीक है, बार बार मैं आपसे दो क्लासरूम्स को डिस्कस करती हूँ, which is teacher centered learning, classical way, and the student centered learning, modern and instructional approach. ठीक है, ज्यादातर हमारी क्लासेस में यही यूज होता है. Either you use your that approach, either we use a classic way, teacher centered approach, or either we use modern techniques or approaches that are student centered learning, which I have already many times explained you that what is the difference between these two. ठीक है, student learning में basically teacher involvement होता है, but it is very less. You actually work as a facilitator. Okay, there is a difference between a teacher who is teaching and a person who is facilitating their students. Okay, you work as a facilitator, you provide them things, you provide them enough knowledge that they can understand, and then with your questioning technique, they give you answer and they give you what you are going to teach them for that day. Okay, they are even going to tell you the topic also. So you are working in those classrooms as a facilitator when you're working on student-centered approach or learning techniques. Then sometimes we are having game-based learnings, project-based learning, PBL. If somebody has worked with PBL, PBL is basically, it is project-based learning. You give the children a project which is related to all the STEAM subject. I hope that you know about STEAM. If anybody know about STEAM or STEM, kindly share it with me. Otherwise, I will share it with you. Unmute your mic if anybody knows or work with PBL or STEAM or STEM.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And STEM is science, technology, arts, and engineering. Engineering, arts, and math.
Yes, basically, the first thing was introduced as a STEM. Okay, only science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But later on in British curriculum, they converted into STEAM also, as they always used to say that art is also the part of all the subjects. If there is no art, there is no learning or less learning. So they included art in also that. So PBL is basically related to the STEAM subject, and it is a project-based learning. You give a project to the children in which they utilize all the 5 categories. Either you're working with STEM or either you're working with STEAM. You use all those categories in that. उसमें उसी टॉपिक में दे हैव टू शो, बेशक वो टॉपिक लिटरेसी का है, न्यूमरेसी से रिलेटेड है, आपकी साइंस से रिलेटेड है, उस टॉपिक को आपने कन्वर्ट करना है और बताना है कि इसमें साइंस क्या है, इसमें टेक्नोलॉजी क्या है, इसमें इंजीनियरिंग कहाँ इन्वॉल्व हो रही है, उसमें थोड़ा सा मैथमेटिकल पोर्शन भी देना है और उसको आर्ट्स में भी कन्वर्ट करना है. ठीक है, तो इट इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट. यूजुअली हम लोग जो अपनी क्लासेस में काम करा रहे हैं, बेसिकली वी वर्क विद दिस. ठीक है, हम फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर एक छोटा सा टॉपिक है लिटरेसी का, मैं इसलिए चेंज कर रही हूँ क्योंकि साइंस को पीबीएल में और स्ट्रीम में कन्वर्ट करना इट्स वेरी इजी, बट व्हेन you are converting any topic of literacy into that, that is difficult, and you have to think about it, how you are going to introduce science in that, how you are going to introduce technology, then engineering, then mathematics, and then arts in it. Arts is also easy. Art can convert it into any subject, but these subjects can difficultly, the other points can uh, you need to think about them. For example, there is a story of a child, any story, or if anybody wants to share any story. So my story, so maybe I have my own vision, लेकिन कोई मुझे एक स्टोरी बताए तो मैं आपको बताती हूँ कि आप उसको साइंस में, टेक्नोलॉजी और इंजीनियरिंग में कैसे इन्वॉल्व करते हैं. अदरवाइज आई विल टेल. Okay, there was a story, who sang the boat. Who sang the boat is basically a story about uh, five animals, and they wanted to go for a boat ride, and the animals were dog, cow, donkey, sheep, and a mouse. So one by one they jumped into the boat. First the cow jumped, then the donkey jumped, and they sit on the parallel sides of the boat. Okay, and then the sheep jumped, but the boat didn't sink. Okay, then the dog jumped, the boat didn't sink. When all the big four animals jumped into it, the boat didn't sink. But how they sit? One was sitting on the one edge, other was sitting on the other edge, and two were sitting parallel to each other in the middle, on the sides, not in the middle, on the side. At last, the mouse jumped into the boat, and the boat broke and it sank. So this was the story, and how we introduce the science in it. Now, simply, the construction of the boat is science. Okay, it involves the water involves science. Okay, the sunny day involves science. Now, what comes next? Technology. Construction of boat, making of boat, or making it, you are going to tell the kids that boats are of different kind. There are big boats, there are small boats. They can run with oars also. They can move with oars. They can have electric boat. We can have electric boats also. So these are the things which comes in your technology. Now, how engineering involves the people who make all those things, involve engineering in it. Mathematics may, you can give them sums related to number 5, because there were 5 animals in that, or you can give different activity, counting activity, numbers activity, number in words activity, any activity you can give related to mathematics by keeping those 5 animals in your mind. They can have a segregation of that also. You can give a mix, like worksheet, where all these 5 animals are mixed up with different quantities. So they are just going to count how many dogs are there, how many cats, the donkeys were there, and all that, and they are going to count and write down there. That's involved mathematical, and with that story, mathematics also involved in that. Then comes to arts. Arts can be anything. They can, simply, you can tell them, don't, in art especially, don't try to give them anything which is made already. Any worksheet that is already created for arts is of no use. That we use in very early stage, where the kids are using, you having scribbling. On later stage, when they start writing, they have a strong grip to the pencil, and they can write very easily. Tell them to draw the things. Our problem is that we give them things on the pages also. For preschool also, I'm talking about, in preschool also, if you're teaching them any letter, so A is on the top, and then either we paste the A picture related to the sound A, or otherwise what we do, we used to draw it. Why? Tell them to make whatever they can make. Draw some pictures on the board, or otherwise they can use their own imagination to create something. Na? So art is something that they can make. You can tell them to draw their favorite animal, that involves art. You can tell them to draw boat, or you can give them to think about something else also. In art, you can give them challenging things also. If you are going on a boat, who you want to go with? Okay? So they are going to draw a boat and they are going to draw their favorite person. If they can write the names of those favorite persons on the top. Otherwise, it is not necessary that you should also know that what are the persons the child has made on the page. Okay? So that is very simple. Art should involve in such a way in the activities. Got it? Now this is done with PBL, project-based learning. Now social emotional learning, holistic approach. I already told that in 7 areas of learning, social emotional learning is always involved. Whenever you're going to teach them any topic, for example, the upper story which I have shared you as a PB or a STEAM approach, if we take that story, so how social and emotional upbringing we can bring towards the child in that friendship is there, they all were friends, they all together wanted to go somewhere. They don't blame the younger one कि why he broke the boat. Okay, these are the things you can socially and emotionally develop in the child, that they should also bring such things in their practical life, in their normal life, in their journal life. Then inquiry based learning, that is IB approach. If you know that many schools are working on IB, they used to say that we are working as IB school. IB school is in inquiry based learning. Now, how inquiry based learning? Inquiry based learning is usually involved in science, or you can say all the UOW topics. UOW topics are basically your science, social studies, computer sciences, Islamic studies also. So inquiry-based learning is involved in that. For example, if you're taking the topic of science, so what kind, how that topic works, take care, how the topic, how much knowledge they are having for that topic before, and how much they are going to gain the knowledge from the topic now. So that is very important. That is called inquiry. They are going to investigate, they are going to inquire, and then they are going to record their answers. For other also, for example, for literacy also, if you're telling them any story, at the end you're going to ask them general questions. That is an inquiry. Whatever they have learned from the story, they are going to inquire about it, using your questions, and then they are going to execute the answers. So basically, inquiry-based learning is that where teachers are not giving them question and answers. They are going to write, they are going to search, they are going to inquire, and then they are going to investigate also, and then they are going to write their answers. They are going to give you in any form. That can be in written form, that can be in verbal form. However, they would like to tell you, they are going to tell you about that. That can be in project form also. That's up to them. That's you're not going to guide them for anything. So you're going to tell them about the topic, give them difficult questions, challenging questions, and they are going to solve it by themselves. Then I have already told you about flipped classroom. That is called SLC, student-led conference. Yeah, your student is leading a conference in the classroom. The way you are teaching them, they are going to be the teachers of that day. That is called SLC. Usually, SLC is using here for parents also. That I'm the yesterday, which I've told you that you are going to flip the classrooms and you are going to give them assign the task. What we used to do when we are having this flip classroom activity, SLC, we invite 5 of the parents also, because we select 5 groups only. So two children, we select the groups because we do it fortnightly. Every after 2 weeks, we used to do it. So on any Friday, the second Friday, we used to invite the parents, 5 parents, 10 parents total, sorry, into two group, and they come and they see what their kids are doing in the classroom. Okay, we called it SLC. student-led conference. Basically, that is flipped classroom also. So you can practice. I know it is difficult in Pakistan to call the parents. So you can practice it in such a way that you can practice it with your kids. But if you can call the parents also, then you can do it that. Collaborative learning, collective intelligence, that is actually group learning and usually works for secondary and higher grade students. Problem based learning, it is also project based learning, where you are going to give them project. Here you are going to give them problems, difficult tasks that they are going to solve. Project based learning, तो ये होता है कि you give them any project, you define the project and they are going to create something with that. But problem based learning is that you are going to give them any challenge and they are going to solve that challenge. Sometimes or computer teachers, usually I've seen computer teachers giving problem based learning. They tell them to search something on the internet and then you are going to write it on or give it in any kind. Either they type it on the computer or they give you a written form, they give you an art form, but they solve the problem. Okay, that is called project based learning. Can you hold a second? I think someone is at the door. Let me check. Wait. Okay, so this is problem-based learning, that you are going to give them any problem, any challenging task, and they are going to solve it. Then come kinesthetic learning or physical activities. Physical activities should involve on weekly basis or daily basis also. Daily basis, I told you 5 minutes activity you can do with your learners in the classroom, and physical activity should be there on weekly basis also.